So, mind you guys, I look like shit, but I'm just chilling in my bed. I just want to come on here and be really real and transparent because I'm feeling a lot of emotions, and I just want to say I'm 12 weeks pregnant. I'm really happy about, my baby, and if it's a boy or a girl, and I came to terms with if it's a boy, I'm okay with it. Um, and I was thinking about some cute boy names that I really liked. Um, but the most hurtful thing that I haven't really processed or dealt with, or like I would say I'm accepting it, but fully accepting it and being like, this is just the way it's gonna be, is the fact that I'm literally gonna be a single parent. How I consider a single parent is even when the man doesn't want to co parent with you, doesn't want nothing to do with you, nor the baby, nor nothing. He just basically was like, he kind of ghosted me after the fact. I was uncomfortable with him having me having abortion. I didn't want to have an abortion. Well, first off, I was gonna have an abortion. Went to the consultation, didn't show up to the appointment, but I felt awkward in the consultation. I kind of felt like in my spirit that this wasn't for me. I'm sorry that I get emotional. So I decided to keep the baby instead of having an abortion, and I was already pre-blocked after that because like just the way he was treating me, I just didn't feel comfortable. It was like really fucked up. It was kind of like, oh, well, how do you want me to treat you? Instead of treating me how a man's supposed to treat a woman when he, just for respect, like not even just because I'm pregnant with your child, but just like treat me with like human decency. Like you're treating me like I'm nothing, and you're not asking me how do I feel. You haven't asked me, do you just want to meet up and talk about our options? Like he didn't show any care for any of this. It was so selfish. It's like he turned off for his protection. I get it. It's scary when you have a baby and you get a girl pregnant, but at the same time, like I don't have time to turn off. I only had a certain amount of time to get an abortion. I had to literally think strategically and deal with my emotions. I have not even dealt with my true emotions about anything because I just been in grind and take care of situation, go to work every day and handle my shit because I'm gonna be the provider for my child. I haven't had the time to deal with my emotions at all. At all, you guys. Like I haven't had the time, and sorry it's fuzzy and dark. My camera's broken, but I'm kind of just so drained. I didn't want to set up my camera quite yet, but it's just like I haven't had time to even process my emotions. So this man is so concerned about himself and like was kind of like fuck you. I texted him, let him know I was keeping the baby. He never texted me back. I finally got him to text me last week, I believe, or the week before that, and he just called me to call me names and say like I have some because I did tell his mother, and mind you, his whole family is like they're totally shitting on me, the whole family. I don't know what he has told them. I don't know if they just decide like fuck this black bitch because they're Ecuadorian and I'm a black woman, so maybe that makes them feel uncomfortable. I don't know if they're prejudiced, racist. I don't know what their ideology is towards me because of I believe like if I was a white woman, they would be treating me different. I just have that feeling. I'm really my intuition's on point, you guys. But anyway, and his ex-wife is white, so I just feel like they're really more transparent, and they live in Provo with white people. Provo, Utah, from my out-of-state people, Utah is the whitest place. Provo is like there's probably like 3 black people that live in Provo, and they're probably refugees from Africa. So, anyways, it's just like his family has wrote me off. Like, so he finally texts me and texts me some hateful fucking shit. Just makes me feel like I'm nothing. Like, and he was doing that when I told him I was pregnant. He was like, "Why don't you smoke some bud? Like, I don't understand why you're so emotional. Why you're crying? Why don't you just calm down, smoke some weed?" And he was just treating this. I was like, "Dude, I get I'm 25, but I'm pregnant. Like, I'm scared. Like, oh my god, I'm pregnant at a wedlock. I decided to stop talking to you, and I find out that I'm pregnant by you, and we're not even on good terms. We're not even talking anymore because the motherfucker was trying to use me for my money and shit because he's a broke ass dude. He perpetrates like he has money and like he has his shit together, but he really doesn't. He's just a hot mess express. He's one of those fuckboys that pretend like they got their shit together but really ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. He pretends to be an activist. He pretends to be a feminist, a pro-black. Mind you, he's not really even black. Like his great-great-grandmother's black from Ecuador, so he has like black African blood, but like his mother's white. His father's very light and Latino and whatever. He just is very identity issue type of dude. Um, God, I'm surprised like he has such identity issues and he grew up with a father himself and he wants to be a deadbeat father, not even compromise with me. You don't have to do nothing for me. But if you don't want to be a dad, just sign over your parental rights and get the fuck out of my life. Like, it's to the point where I'm like, I don't even want the money. I don't want the little funky $200 a month or whatever. If you don't want to be a dad, I'm not gonna fucking force you to love your kid. Period. Period. And sorry, you guys, I'm looking at my ceiling and shit, so my eyes are probably like crazy, but period. I'm not gonna force you to love your child. You either love it or you don't. Period. And like I'm pregnant right now, so I just don't even need the stress. After I finally got a hold of him, but mind you, I'm blocked, and I'm having his child, and he's basically like, I'm not doing shit until we're in court. So I'm like, you're telling me that a court case could take a year to 6 months. You're not gonna get to know your baby for a year, maybe even 2 years, and you expect me to just feel super comfortable with letting you take our baby, like even if you decide to be a dad. Even though he said in the text messages when he was cussing me out, I want to be the baby's friend. You sound stupid. But whatever, you guys. That's kind of what I've been dealing with. Just to set the record straight, to let you guys know I am alone and pregnant since day one. Me deciding to have this baby, I knew I was going to be a single mother. So I don't expect a lot from him. But in your right mind, when you meet someone and they claim to be like a feminist and an activist, you assume that they're going to take responsibility of their child or pretend like they care a little bit or whatever the case may be. But I haven't got any of that type of respect or transparency when it comes to him. He is totally like, doesn't want to fuck with me. He makes it seem like I made this decision without him, but mind you, I've been blocked since I told him I was pregnant. I think I've been blocked probably since I told him I was keeping the baby, but I think I've been blocked since, I think he was assuming I was getting an abortion, but I ended up texting him and telling him I wasn't. So I don't know if I'm blocked where he can't see my calls or something. I don't know what type of blocked I am. I really just prefer to kind of keep him out of my life. This is so sad, but like I'm comfortable with him just signing over his parental rights and me just being super mom and hustling really hard and working 2 jobs and going to school and just, hustling really hard. I'd rather deal with that than deal with a person that's like literally is malicious, that said like some of the most malicious shit to me. That threw up some of the most biggest insecurities in my face. I'd rather be alone than deal with that type of shit, period. It's just, it's too much. It's too much. I love myself so much. Like, that's why I left him. I started to see his true colors. And I was like, this is not for me. Like, you were not for me. This is not me. None of this is me. Like, I get that I'm single and I was trying to experiment and do some, wild shit, just like not caring, just enjoying my youth, but I got pregnant. Be on birth control, y'all. Like, period. Be on birth control, period. Use a condom with these dudes, period. They got STDs. And dudes too. Like, protect yourself, period. And I knew better. But now I'm raising a child, which is cool because I could have had an abortion and ran away from my responsibilities. Not saying that when women have abortions are running away from their responsibilities, but to each its own. I decided that I wasn't going to have an abortion, that I would just, take care of my situation and keep the child. I felt it in my heart. I had a dream I was pregnant prior to even knowing I was pregnant. I had a dream I was pregnant, so it was just like, whoa. Like, I had this dream that I had a baby. And I kept telling him, like, I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, because we were not talking at the time. And I was like, I think I'm pregnant. And I had his number blocked, so I was trying to really get him out of my life. So I was keeping it strictly Facebook. And I ended up taking a test at work, and I was pregnant. And I already knew it. I was having a lot of cramping, but no period. I had some light spotting. I knew I was pregnant. But it's so crazy because I did take Plan B after we had unprotected sex. but I think I was ovulating at the time, so I ended up having the baby. But being a single mom so far, just being pregnant alone, is so fucking hard. It's so hard. Like, it's so hard. Like, I don't mean to get emotional, but like, I really sympathize with every woman that has ever gone through this by themselves, because it's so hard, because your hormones, you feel very vulnerable, and you're alone, and you don't have anyone to talk to. Like, you're supposed to be able to talk to your, like, baby's father. You know, it's only, like, natural. And when you don't have that, you just feel very alone. Even though you have, like, your mom and your dad and your siblings and your family support, but you do feel alone. It's just this feeling where you just, sometimes I come home from work and, you know, you think about certain things and you just start to cry because you feel like a failure. You feel like you failed your kid already. Well, I feel like a failure because I can't even get my baby's father to want to compromise with me to raise a child. So it's like, I'm raising a single parent. Like, I didn't grow up in a single parent household. I was raised with my father in the house. So it's just like I'm raising a child without the father. So that's hard enough within itself, because I'm like, fuck, like, am I going to be a good, responsible parent? Am I going to fuck up my kid mentally because my kid's not going to have their dad there? More than likely, he'll probably sign over his parental rights, which is good for me in a sense. I know that sounds stupid, but he's just such a drama person. I just rather not have that person in my life, unfortunately. And his toxicity and his lifestyle is not really healthy for a child, period. He's just way too carefree. He has no structure in his life. And I think when you have a child, it's healthy to have structure. And raise the kid with, like, you know, some structure. It helps the mind and the development. And he's just really not on the same page. Like, he assumes that I want to be with him, and that's not what it is. I want to raise a child together, but, you know, I'm alone. I knew I was going to be alone. As soon as I decided to keep this child, I knew I was going to be alone. So this is the video vlog for today, you guys. I just had to get some of my emotions out and just, like, kind of release some of the stress and the way I've been feeling. Overwhelmed and the little anxiety and shit like that I have, and just feeling alone. But overall, like, I'm not super depressed. Like, even now, I'm not, like, super depressed. I have my moments, my hormones, I think, and I think, and it's hurtful. It's just hurtful, and it's confusing, and it's difficult to deal with, but I know God's going to prevail. I feel like God's been with me. God's been giving me the strength to get up, go to work, do everything I have to do, pay my bills. God will provide for me, and I'll work this out. I'll make another video to this where I'm looking a lot more together. I just want to be honest and transparent, just kind of get my emotions out, and just kind of let you guys know that, like, yeah, being alone and being pregnant is no joke. Like, it's painful. Like, this shit is painful in a sense, because you just feel like, damn, where did I go wrong? Or, like, even meeting him, it was just like, why did I pursue this person? Why did I assume this person was a good person? Why did I rush into this? Why was I just having carefree sex and just being wild? Why didn't I protect myself 24/7? Why didn't we protect ourselves? Why did we get lazy? And the one time we get really lazy, I get pregnant. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I got pregnant as soon as I broke up with this person. Like, I did not want this person in my life anymore. I was very confused because this person did guilt trip me into, like, but I really knew in my heart that this person wasn't for me. I started to peep the signs of how he's kind of this person that's controlling and a little bit, like, abusive in his own little manners. He's very self, and he doesn't really care to listen about your feelings or how you think, and he minimalizes them big time. And I don't need a partner like that. I don't want a partner like that. And yeah, it's been rough, you guys. I'm going to talk about my 12 weeks in the next video. This is just going to be being pregnant and alone and how it's literally the fucking struggle. And I look a mess and my hair is fucking matted. But I feel like a lot of women are pregnant and alone right now. The one piece of advice I could give you is keep your fucking head up. Pray to the Lord. If you don't believe in a God, I would say meditate. Try to get in touch with your spiritual side. Think good thoughts because your baby is living in you. So your baby is absorbing a lot of the way you feel. That's why I don't like to be stressed. That's why I don't like to talk about my baby's father, because that brings me a lot of stress and grief, and I don't like to feel like that. So I don't try to bring him up because he's a negative energy and he's a negative person. I don't want my baby to get that around. We don't need that because my baby's sharing my aura, and I don't need to give my baby that negative energy by thinking about him and stressing out about everything to finances. I believe God will make a way. I'm a hustler. I can do this, and ladies, you can do it too. If you want to keep your baby, do it for you. Who cares if he wants to have an abortion? But just know that day that you decide to keep your child is on you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You decide to keep that baby, that is you. And that's something you have to keep in mind if you're deciding, should I keep the baby or have an abortion? If you really feel like you need that man, I would be mindful about keeping the baby if you truly feel like you need him. Because if you keep the baby and he didn't want it, you have to understand that there's a good chance that he is not going to help you at all. Period. At all. And that's like my situation. Like, that, he's more caught up on finances, the money. Oh, you're getting me for child support, blah, blah, than the fact, like, we're actually bringing a human being into the world. But what do you do? You know what I mean, ladies? What do? You just got to understand that this is on you. You got to understand that there's a lot of women in our positions, that we are not alone. There's tons of young ladies that are over here having these babies by themselves, having to raise their children by themselves. And you're not alone. There's tons of books you can read, testimonies on YouTube, articles you can read about being a single mom. I think my only fear is I didn't grow up in a single parent household. I know kids with mommy and daddy issues, it really affects them. So my duty as a parent is to get my child therapy. I've already thought about it. I'm already like thinking in advance, like I need to get my child therapy because I want my kid to be confident even though their father, whether it's a boy or girl, is not going to be here. But ladies, you are not alone. We could get through this. You guys will get through this. I know that it seems dark right now, especially if you just found out you're pregnant. I know it seems scary, but talk to your mom. Talk to someone that you can trust, whether it's a friend, a family member. I've told my parents I was pregnant. I ended up telling my best friends, Brooke and Sonia. They're like really good friends to me. I reached out to them, and my friend Amanda, shout outs to you guys for really being there for me, and my friend Shekinah. And they really grounded me, and they've been really there for me. My parents the most, though, and my siblings, they really been looking out for me. And I thank God that I have good parents that will, like, they won't let me go without. They're not going to let my baby starve. They're not going to let me starve no matter what. And my dad's going to be there for the baby and my brother. So, like, my kid will have a male support in its life, and it will get okay. I'm going to log off because I'm getting emotional and my hormones. So, all right, guys. I know the video is going to be vlog, like, ugly and shit, but as long as you can hear my voice, I feel like that's the most important thing. All right, guys. Bye. I'm going to get ready, and we'll do my 12 weeks video next. Hope to talk to you guys soon.